Welcome to Tabletop Battle Adventures, D-Day, 1000 hours, turn 20. Looking at the hedgerows and Karen Tan in the distance. This will be the introduction video for this turn. We'll start with the 506th PIR. The left flank has been able to push all the way up here. We've got a first LMG team still in the fight. Second medium machine gun. 2 soldiers left. The green D6s and brown D6s represent grenades held by the Germans and the US forces. Even once soldiers are killed, the grenades stay by their bodies until picked up and used, or they can sit there for the remainder of the battle. 506th First Squad Assistant Leader will start on ambush. The First Lieutenant Platoon Leader, he's going to start out with 3 pin markers and facing down a German from the 1058 Grenadiers and First Lieutenant Eulander's Puma. And that is all of the fighters for the left flank. It's pretty bad. And there's one surviving gunner from the 57mm AT gun, and he has fallen back to this position. The medium mortar still in the fight, needs a new target. The light mortar still in the fight, needs a new target. The 506th in the center, they have the 2nd Squad BAR soldier. Sergeant Caleb the sniper starting on ambush. And 2nd Squad LMG team center screen. Go over and check out the 506 right flank. 3rd Squad Assistant Leader. The sergeant's going to start on ambush. 2nd Bazooka Gunner in the road facing off against Sergeant Runnels' half-track. He's taken 2 shots at the half-track and missed. Colonel Sink, commander of the 506th, and his radio operator, starting off here. And they called in an artillery strike on the bridge on the right side leading into Carentan, which to destroy these bridges is the 506th's main objective, and to capture the river lock and to shut the river lock off, close it rather, so that the water will stop flooding down the ditch under the destroyed bridge. These green fields are flooded. Infantry advance. No run and no vehicles at all. So before the armor reinforcements from the U.S. forces taking the beaches arrives here in the hedgerows to push the Germans back and to capture Carentan, we want to close that river lock so that the fields will be able to be driven across by the U.S. armor. The reason the 506 want to destroy these bridges as soon as possible, is that there's a company from Panzer Lehr Division, 2 half-tracks, a Stug 3, Horrible Wind, 2 Panzer 4s, 2 Panthers, Flame Panzer, Nebelwolfer, the half-track, 2 Tigers, and 1 King Tiger. So they do not want these reinforcements coming across those bridges through Carentan, across the bridges, and right over the top of the 506 survivors. And the Germans want to defend those bridges and to hold them open so that the armor can arrive. Back to the 506th right flank, we have the platoon commander, Captain Carey, in the corn. We have 2nd Squad Leader, Sergeant Braden, and 2nd Squad LMG team. 3rd Squad LMG loader. 3rd Squad BAR soldier, and a 2nd Squad soldier with a rifle. And the flamethrower team here. So the 506 have taken terrible losses. That's all of the soldiers that are... Oh, check that. One more unit here, the M5 3-inch AT gun. And that's everybody they have left. The 506, as of last turn, they took 3 KIA last turn and 38 over the whole fight. They just managed to break the German defenses here. The 6th Fallschirmjäger was the 2nd line of defense. They broke through the Germans' 1st line of defense early in the fight here when they ambushed and killed many soldiers that were riding and walking along with Sergeant Ronald's half-track. He's escaped many close calls. And now the Germans, the only defender on their left flank is Sergeant Ronald's half-track until you get to the 3rd line of defense here with 6 Fallschirmjäger's 1st section, 2 soldiers here. Your LMG team starting on ambush, and the 1st section leader. 6 Fallschirmjäger also has a medic here, and their platoon leader, the 1st lieutenant, their messenger, and their attack dog. They're going to start out right here. So I guess they are the closest defenders on this left flank. 6 Fallschirmjäger will go through their positions through Carentan and then swing around to the right flank to look at the 1058 Grenadier survivors. Not many. 6 Fallschirmjäger's platoon sergeant will start out here. 2nd section, LMG team will start on ambush. 2nd section leader is center screen next to the LMG team, and then 2 more soldiers protecting the river lock are also from 2nd section. 3rd section leader positioned here on the other side of the bridge, and in the attic of this building there's 3rd section's LMG team, one of them, defending the other bridge on the Carentan side. This is all 6 Fallschirmjäger from this point on. I'll mention when we get to the 1058 Grenadiers. This is the 3rd section assistant leader. 3rd section, 2 soldiers. 2nd floor of this building. Window on the right. 6 Fallschirmjäger sniper. Window on the left. 3rd section LMG team. And right behind them is the Panzerschreck team. They have their medium mortar in the courtyard. This is their headquarters. On the 2nd floor of the tower is 6 Fallschirmjäger's commander, Major von der Heit, and his radio operator and spotter, forward observer. He's in the tower. And this is an objective. Carentan's an objective also for the Germans to defend and for the U.S. forces to capture, but that'll be later in the fight. The battlefield is a 12x5. There's a forward observer radio operator for the 6 Fallschirmjäger here in this destroyed building. Closer look at the river lock. And I already mentioned that Colonel Sink, 506 commander, called in the artillery strike. We'll address that first before the ambush roll-offs and first dice of 1000 hours. Now we're over on the right flank. Have 6 Fallschirmjäger sent some reinforcements. 2 soldiers from 3rd section in the hedgerow, and the flamethrower team. Still with 6 Fallschirmjäger, this is their 2nd section LMG team. And they're in a firefight with the 1st squad LMG team for the 506th. 6 Fallschirmjäger also has their 3 forward observers here. And that is all of the 6 Fallschirmjäger still in the fight. As of last turn, they had 1 soldier KIA and 7 in total, so they're really fresh. The 100th Panzer First Lieutenant Eulander's Puma. Sergeant Gerald's half-track knocked out, and already mentioned a few times Sergeant Ronald's half-track in the fight, with a lot of pin markers starting out. So they've only had one of their armed vehicles knocked out in the fight. The 1058 Grenadiers had another soldier killed this last turn. They have 28 KIA in total. There's not many of them left. There is the first section leader here, who's moved forward and spotted the platoon leader, the first lieutenant, for the 506th. Let's see, besides that soldier here, we've got the 3rd section assistant leader on ambush. 3rd section's LMG team. And in the building, this is the 1058 Grenadiers headquarters. First lieutenant, platoon commander, is radio operator. 1058 sniper, center window. He'll start on ambush, and the gunner for the 3rd section LMG team. 1058 Grenadiers only has 8 soldiers left in the fight, 28 KIA in the fights in the battle so far. Hedgerows block line of sight, except in the case where there's a wall with the hedgerow, and then they're low hedgerow and don't block line of sight. Still hide behind them until you're giving up your position. Moving over to Omaha Beach. Now, the main objective for the U.S. forces is to kill all the Germans defending the beach, but also to be able to move up the road. Once they can kill the Germans and or make it to the road, then they will be able to reinforce on these 2 roads to rescue the 506th and take Carentan. Most likely have an epic fight against the German armor in the hedgerows and Carentan. And the Germans, they want to kill as many of the U.S. forces as they can and slow them down so that the German armor arrives before the U.S. forces, which was planned for turn 24. So at the end of turn 23, basically, so start of turn 24 would be when the German armor arrives in Carentan. And if the U.S. forces can arrive earlier than the German armor, that's great. But as of we're just starting 1000 hours, and the U.S. forces have killed most of the defenders on the beaches here, but still some defenders. So also the Germans can fall back. I believe it was as of turn 19. They could fall back, and then they could do that. But then the U.S. armor gets to proceed to these roads. So if the Germans fall back, there's a few of them left here. But again, that means the U.S. armor will be able to roll right here to these roads. So I don't know that the Germans will escape anyways. All right, so the 916th Grenadiers 1st and 2nd Platoon defending on the far right flank. 2nd Section's 1st Platoon, 2nd Section leader. It's the only defender on this far right flank. And besides the radio operator here for the 1st Platoon's platoon commander, who's also dead. And then there's no defenders all the way till you get to the 916 Grenadiers. This is 2nd Platoon's 2nd Section LMG gunner. Another 2nd Section soldier. Oh, it's the flamethrower team. They have a mortar from the 2nd Rangers medium mortar center screen, who's now going to be hitting them on a 5. The 2nd Platoon's medic working on a wounded German from 2nd Platoon, 2nd Section, and also the 2nd Section's LMG gunner. So both LMG gunners are ready to fire. Some pin markers to deal with. That's pretty much the defenders on this side. It's awful. Oh, rewind just for a moment. I just saw a note I made on my notebook here. And remind that the 6 Fallschmacher sniper in the building across the river in Carentan, center screen, second floor window on the right. Their sniper will be on ambush. All right, back to the Omaha Beach. In the bunker, the 916th 2nd Platoon Commander, the 1st Lieutenant, his messenger and radio operator. And with them is half of 1st Section. We have the 1st Section Assistant Leader in the center of the 5 men against the bunker window. 2 soldiers on the left with assault rifles, and the 2 soldiers on the right are the 1st Section's LMG team. They've been causing a lot of problems through here for the 2nd Rangers. There's a tunnel in the end of this bunker, and this tunnel goes under the road and into this small building, and so they can leave the battlefield from any spot. So they could fall back, be out of here, and probably kill all the 506 soldiers in between, smashing between the 6 Fallschirmjäger, the few 1058 Grenadiers, and these retreating 916th Grenadiers, which historically did happen. Some of the soldiers did retreat and got into firefights with some of the paratroopers. The 88 knocked out, and the Pack 40 knocked out. Inside of this bunker, well, we got the wounded soldier on top, but inside is the other 3 soldiers from 2nd Platoon's 1st Section. It'll be the leader and the LMG team. Starting on ambush in this bunker will be 1st Platoon sniper. There's also 1st Platoon 2nd Section leader on the right and 1st Platoon's MMG team. Every building here on Omaha Beach and in the hedgerows in Carentan, I keep damage on these buildings so that when they reach their max damage, they can be destroyed. Probably noticed this building here was destroyed primarily by the T-34 Calliope. Awful, amazing tank with the rockets on top. Just devastated the Germans. In one turn, there was at least 12 or 13 Germans killed in the building, outside of the building by that terrible weapon. So yeah, you see these buildings that have collapsed through the fight. Continuing these very few defenders. 2nd Platoon's MMG team. There's only the gunner is the only survivor. And down here we have 1st Platoon, 1st Section, 3 soldiers with submachine guns. And then these are the 2 soldiers survived they survived the Pack 40 being destroyed. So I'm falling back with them, thinking about having them join the surviving gunner, make it a full crew again. 2nd Platoon Sergeant, center screen, still in the fight. Starting on ambush, 2nd Platoon's 3rd Section leader. There's also 3 soldiers next to him from 1st Platoon, 2nd Section. And inside of this bunker, protecting, there's a back window of the bunker. There is a 1st Platoon flamethrower team that's still in there. And there's 1 survivor from the 88 crew, and he's falling back also. And that's it. So the Germans, is a really good time to run away. If they ran away now, they would have enough soldiers to maybe get to Carentan. But the 916th, last turn, the 1st Platoon took 8 KIA. And the 2nd Platoon took no KIA. And in total, the 1st Platoon has 37 KIA in the fight, and the 2nd Platoon has 25 KIA. Go over and take a look at the attackers. Far left flank, the 116th Infantry Company A, 1st Platoon. Platoon guide in the center with some pins to deal with. Heavy machine gun on the left, 2 soldiers still alive. Medium machine gun. The 1st Lieutenant, platoon leader and radio operator. Third squad sent bazooka team through the cut wire. Third squad leader made the cut. 3 more third squad soldiers. 1/16th sniper will start on ambush with a second cut through the barbed wire. More third squad soldiers, assistant leader, and a BAR soldier, some pin markers. Second squad, they've made a cut here. Second squad assistant leader and the 2 soldiers with him. Other second squad soldier here who's still alive after everybody was gunned down around him. Still with the 1/16th, their forward observer team planted explosives on this beach obstacle. The 1/16th second sniper here. 1/16th first squad assistant leader and a second squad flamethrower team. 1/16th platoon sergeant with a radio operator. They've planted explosives also. So has first squad assistant leader. And then just at the draw, we have the 1/16th first squad and BAR soldier. He's planted explosives. First squad leader made a cut through the barbed wire. Flamethrower team from the first squad moved through, knocked out the 88, but then was gunned down and killed himself, him and his assistant. And kind of mixed up over here with some Rangers. We've got 1/16th first squad soldiers, bazooka team, and 2 more first squad soldiers, one with the BAR. And they're with a platoon sergeant from the Rangers, but we'll talk about the Rangers in a moment. And that's the 1/16th. I don't think I missed anybody. And so the deal with the explosives is that's the way we got to move the beach obstacles, because the 743rd Tank Battalion's flamethrower, crocodile flamethrower tank, Fubard, rolled a 1, killed the 2nd Rangers company commander, company C commander, radio operator, messenger, and immobilized the M4 Sherman with the bulldozer blade that was moving the obstacles and jammed the turret. So now we gotta blow up these beach obstacles to make a path to get the armor up and the infantry more easily to the objective to get up the road. Let's go with the 2nd Rangers now. So 2nd Rangers platoon sergeants made it up to the high tide mark with some of 1/16th soldiers. And this is the 2nd Rangers Company C 1st and 2nd platoon. I already mentioned the company commander being melted. 2nd Rangers 2nd squad leader, 2nd squad assistant leader, and 2 riflemen. Whoever I'm talking about is going to be about center screen. The Rangers medium mortar, and then Rangers heavy machine gun team. And we're moving on down, and now we're in 2nd platoon, was 2nd platoon 2nd squad leader who I first mentioned. So we're in 2nd platoon's area. And 2nd platoon has a flamethrower team here and an LMG team. 2nd platoon is their 2nd squad flamethrower. This is 1st squad's LMG team. And this is more 1st squad soldiers. Center screen right by the tank filled with flammable liquid is the 1st squad leader. 1st squad assistant leader and 2 riflemen up close to the high tide mark. And then 1st squad has a couple more soldiers over here, or 1st platoon 2nd squad. Oh, excuse me, this is where, right about here is where 2nd platoon ends and 1st platoon begins. So we've got 1st platoon 2nd squad, center screen. 1st platoon 2nd squad soldiers up here. One's assistant squad leader. And then kind of mixed up, this is soldiers from 1st platoon, these fully painted soldiers. And that's assistant leader and 3 soldiers, one with the BAR. And they just kind of moved around the flamethrower tank. So they're mixed up with 1st platoon. Doesn't really matter, just get up the beach. And then the rest of these soldiers on this side are mostly going to be 1st platoon. And way up here we've got 1st platoon, 2nd squad leader and a soldier. This is 1st platoon's commander, the 1st lieutenant, and radio operator working on a wounded soldier. And 1st Platoon Sergeant, center screen. 1st Platoon's bazooka team. 1st Platoon 2nd Squad bazooka team. Their medic headed over to work on a wounded soldier. 1st Platoon Sniper starting on ambush. The company 1st Sergeant and his messenger just revived. Maybe he was just revived by the 1st Platoon, 1st Squad assistant leader, and the 1st Squad's LMG gunner. And then right in front of them is 1st Platoon, 1st Squad leader, a couple of riflemen, and that's everybody. So for the 116th Infantry, last turn, they took 3 KIA, and they have 24 KIA for the fight. Pretty heavy. They have the worst losses here at Omaha Beach for the U.S. forces. 2nd Rangers, 1st Platoon, which was on the far right flank mostly. They took 2 more KIA last turn, 7 in total for the fight. And 2nd Platoon got hammered by an artillery strike called in beginning of last turn. They lost 7 KIA, and they have 7. That was all their losses for the turn. Up until then, they had no one killed. Oh, excuse me, it was 10 KIA in total, because I included the company commander in the tally. So last turn was 10, 11, 12 KIA for the Rangers last turn. Now the 743rd Tank Battalion, I already mentioned the situation with these 2 tanks. Here's the T-34 Calliope, awful weapon. Great cover fire. 1st Platoon leader for the 743rd Tank Battalion. 2nd Platoon leader, he is immobilized in the Jackson. And then 1st Platoon tank, 2nd Platoon, and the company 1st Sergeant still in the fight. The only tanks that have been knocked out completely was the 2nd Platoon tank early in the fight, and then the company commander. That's pretty much the situation. In total, the U.S. forces have lost 79 KIA, and this between both battlefields, and the Germans have lost 98 KIA. Germans hold all the objectives, but they also have 21 more KIA. Excuse me, 19 more. Order dice still so it'll be 7 German order dice on ambush starting out, 6 U.S. order dice starting on ambush between both battlefields. And in the bag, there will be 45 German order dice and 66 U.S. order dice. The beginning of the battle, so in total it's 72 U.S. order dice and 52 German order dice still in the fight. In the beginning, it was 100 U.S. order dice and 77 German. So the Germans have lost 25 units destroyed, and the U.S. forces have lost 28. Hell of a fight. First dice will be a German dice. But we're going to address Colonel Sink's artillery strike first. He was able to get that line of sight. We got to do some damage to this bridge. Hopefully. Maybe the German defender is nearby. And after that artillery strike, the Germans didn't call in any strike this past turns. There won't be one this turn. I'm sure they'll call one in this turn. And then after the artillery strike, we'll do ambush roll-offs. As I mentioned, there was 7 German units starting on ambush and 6 U.S. units starting on ambush. Once we've addressed those ambushes, whichever ambushes want to be addressed, then we'll get to that first German dice of this turn. I'm going to call it a night and get to the battle in about 2 nights. Thanks for watching.